welcome back to Clash with Bando. We've got here, is this week 3 of MLCW recap? I'm trying to work out where it is in comparison to CWL. I think it's 1 week difference. Week 3 MLCW in order of who's finished wars first. We have Hired Goons versus LP6 Pegasus, 42-42, so drawn on score, a 3.4% win to LP6 Pegasus. That must have meant some big percentage. 82 is the lowest, 92%. So they're number 2, Ike Face, having a good war, couldn't pull off any triples, but damn close. Let's have a look at the breakdowns and see what happened. There was a couple of 6-packs to Goons. They had Jon Snow and Skeleton with 6-packs. Jon Snow with a fresh 6-pack. We'll look at one of his. And you can see a bit of a mixture. Defense-wise, Goons got absolutely trolloped at Town Hall 9. Have to give a big up to LP6. They set themselves up for this big time. It was 7-9 on the fresh hit count, and that means 9 of 12 bases, so 3/4 of bases were fresh hit, giving them an overall, I think it was 3-8 on the hit ups. So LP6 did 6 hit ups and just swagged 2 effectively. So it gave them all hits for 10v10. Goons only needed the one hit down, but did have one failed, and needed the second, of course. You see lots of fresh 6-packs there. So the guys there doing it well. Hopefully Goons took the time to watch a lot of their replays and learn what they're doing, all those kinds of things. That's how we learn in the game, isn't it? We have a look here at the bases. So they got 7 fresh hits, the Goons, but 7 defends on ABD. 2 of those were Town Hall 10s. So 5 hits from the 9s, absolutely smashed it. Outside of that, they 1 or 2 hit everything else. So really not a bad war. Goons should hold their heads up. I definitely enjoyed watching some of the replays. Only got 1 3-star myself, and the infamous base number 8 beat the Bando as well. So we'll have a look here at Jon Snow hitting number 4. So Jon Snow, he had a 6-pack fresh hit. And what have we got? A Go-Varho here. Let's just slow for the entry to have a look at. You can see 2 poisons, so I don't know why he's not poisoning the heroes. Two heroes early on. You can get both of them with 1 poison. Would definitely be high value there. That golem is split and pretty much dead before it entered the base. You don't really need more than your max level poison on a baby dragon. So definitely would have been good value there. Got to keep in mind with your poisons, use that max level for your baby dragons. Save the level 3 for skeletons. The skeletons have 25 hit points, something like that. So level 3 is all you need there. So going in with the hogs, the kill squad did its job. Queen's going to die now. Does well to pick up that poison on the fly. That was good to see. And you can see the hog pathing, very simple. Nothing in that dead zone. In the middle, no defences, just that clan castle. Has a couple of minions, uses one on the builder hut. How have we been with builder huts this week? Summons a giant. Did see it affect a few raids in all levels. It's funny. Use a minion or use a wizard. Of course, it kills it on the fly. Interesting raid. So Jon Snow, I am going to show a little bit of his next hit as a learning moment, I guess. Just as something to point out, I noticed while I was having a quick squiz through the replays. Now, what I liked about this, it was a fresh hit, don't get me wrong, he's fresh hitted, but just the learning curves, it's a free draw clan castle. I've got a video, I need to release it, but until I can get back home and make something on the computer, I can't release it. So you see here, free draw clan castle, you can use a barbarian, you can use a minion, you can use whatever you want. Now, he goes for the draw with a loon. Not sure why we're using a loon there, unless it is to trigger a heat seeker. If it's to trigger a heat seeker, beautiful, and then you're using, say, your baby dragon on the enemy queen, or a big dragon on the enemy queen, because a big dragon would kill that with a poison, then that is a high use value. Otherwise, barbarian or a minion, use that small troop count to start off with, sees that it's all 30 spaces, so it doesn't need to drop any more troops, and then gets into the raid. And what we're going to concentrate on, start to walk over the other side. We'll concentrate on here. This is the learning moment I want to show. You can see he ends up dropping down. Where are we? Let's get into it. Come on, where is he? Jimmy Bob. Jimmy Bob's going to make an appearance. Alright, we're getting close. Run around the corner, Queenie, Queenie, Queenie. Where are you, Jimmy? Okay, so drops the pre-poison, 2 Valks. So we've used a total of 21 unit spaces to draw and kill the queen, but we're using Jimmy Bob. What I liked about it was he was using Jimmy Bob as the tank and then goes into it, but what I didn't understand on the raid was why not use a minion at the start and then use a baby dragon with your king. So instead of using 15 unit space, you're using 12. The baby dragon does double damage, it's going to keep going. It's all about minimising, it's about those 1%ers and things like that. But other than that, excellent war, mate. You should be proud. Let's have a look at number 10 here. We're going to see a queen walk from Raid. I think he's taken a month off for study after this. So a good war for you, the one fresh 3. He goes in with a queen walk and leads that into a Lava Loonian, I think it is, 20 minions. So I haven't watched the full raid. I thought I would just earmark it and have a look at it. Queen walk going counterclockwise, Jimmy Bob walking clockwise. I like the 2 wizards behind that. That means that those wizards are going to hopefully pick up those defences. Unfortunately, that wizard tower says nah, yeah, nah, and takes them on. But the one wizzy gets away. Good wall breaker into that bottom 6 o'clock point there. So that was well done with the wizards picking up those defences there. So 8 unit space, getting a hold of those. Pulls the CC. What do we got? Valk, Witch, Baby Dragon seems to be a very common CC at the moment. Very common, causing people a lot of dramas. Early on the jump there's poisons everywhere, there's heroes everywhere, there's fucking troops everywhere. Does well to keep that in check, only using the 1 rage, luckily. Gets both poisons out. So that's pretty much a dead base from there by the looks. We'll put that in Tumo. You've only got the 1 Expo pushing at the queen. Not sure why we're using an early rage. Queen starts shooting walls because of the early jump, unfortunately. Draws some skellies, she'll shoot the Expo from there, and we see the loons running in front of the minions, probably a little bit early on smashing all the loons down. You want to be careful, 1 red bomb will absolutely wreck your day. We'll put that in 4 speed now. The queen, she goes in and does a bit more work. That's good value there, great value out of the queen. No, those mass minions succumbing that Tesla down, and there's 1 Tesla left giving him a bit of grief. So really well done there, mate. That was a good raid. Impressive, especially as a fresh hit. That was a little bit complicated. Now let's have a look at the next raid. Dead set, basic raid, absolutely loved it. This is what the base deserved. So enemies number 11, Panther, Sniper versus, draws the clan castle with that minion that I'm talking about. So that's another baby Valk. Which clan castle? No, there's archers. So it's a little bit of a longer draw. Uses the minion on the top hut. Let's see how he kills that. So he's got 2 poisons. 1 poison will be, I expect, for the enemy queen. 1 poison for the CC. Now what's good is that giant kept the minion up the top there. That was nice because that's where he wanted to kill it. Oh, beautiful. Uses minions to just keep that CC in there. Doesn't go heavy. Could maybe use archers as well, and or enemy queen behind, but that's absolutely perfect. So didn't need to use 2 baby dragons. A lot of the time you'll see people put the 1 baby dragon that dies to the max level baby dragon even under poison, but then need a 2nd baby dragon. So that's really good use there. Goes into the queen just to flat out poison. So it looks like we're going to go for a Lava Loonian pop. No, not Loonian, it's just Lava Loon with a pop. So gets that rage out kind of in the vicinity of the queen. She looks like she's going to be given some grief. 2 pups giving her a how you going. Slap and tickle. Couple more pops come out. That queen has followed them like a boss. And you see there, basic. Didn't go really over the top with the air section. Probably should have had a couple more haste over 1 of those rages. But that's what a free draw clan castle deserves. Is well done to just draw the clan castle for the air troops. Didn't even really need heroes, they were used on cleanup, so excellent raid there. So it's Goons, unlucky for the first one for the week going down, but 42 even points. Well done Pegasus, your Town Hall 9s absolutely smashed it. Okay, and the second war for the week, we've got Down Under versus the Brabantse boys. This is a Dutch clan, if I do believe correctly. I'm just going to nickname them Bra Boys, as obviously I'm going to stuff it up every time I say it. 56 to 57, You would expect that 57 is the baseline score we're aiming for in the Barbarian League, for the simple point that that's all successful hit downs and the 2 stars on the Town Hall 11s. Now we see 73 on their number 2 and a 61 on the number 1. They're big percentages for 10v11s, so really well done to those guys. There was a 10 versus 10 fresh on the bottom Town Hall 10. Kaylee, she's only a 86k, I think. What was impressive to see was both teams had low weight Town Hall 10s. They matched. It's awesome to see. You're putting in the lower bases, you're playing those players, you're risking the fact that they're going to get 3-star. That's the game. That's what happens. It happens in different leagues, different levels. Now you see here there was just the one 6-pack to down under Town Hall 9s, and that was Venom. He hit a 6 fresh. I'm going to actually show both those. They were both slightly different, and I saw impressive things in both of them. There was a few in the 90% plus categories. Unfortunately, Town Hall 9s came off a super week last week, down to a week where we needed to use 4 Town Hall 10 hit downs. Excuse me. And that affected the overall effectiveness of the war. So you get 10 Town Hall 10 attacks, 4 got used as hit downs, 4 were used to get the Town Hall 11s down. So that was actually pretty good value. 4 hits to get both the bases down. You see a few bases there with 3 defense, 4 bases all up. So that wasn't, right over the top. But yeah, if 8 attacks are getting done, that only leaves 2 attacks to 10v10. Whereas on the flip side, the Bra Boys, they needed no hit downs. They used 6 attacks to get the Town Hall 11s down. So scaled a couple of act there. So that gave them 4 attacks on the Town Hall 10s. And they pulled off 1 as a fresh hit. So that put them in the driver's seat for the majority of the war. There was 1 hit down fail from the 11 versus 10s from both teams, netting in an overall 1 point difference. Now, where are we? The percentage would have been a little bit different, 4.25% different to the Bra Boys. So they definitely did win in both levels there. So definitely good team to watch out for. I think these guys are going to be towards the top of the league of the teams I've seen so far. Really cool to see different sides, European sides. So it was a later war, which is really awesome. Not these early horrible time wars. So where are we? We're going to look at Co taking on Hosk. You see Minion starting off. What's he got? Did I want to show this one? I don't think I had it earmarked. We'll put it in 2-speed. It was a stoned Go Hog, simple attack. I think he may have bowlers in the clan castle, hitting into the Queen, hitting into the CC. Lucky to draw a skilly trap there. Very lucky to get that wall breaker into 3 wizard tower areas. But absolutely smasher going into there. Into the midfield, gets all of the wall, all of the wizard towers, gets the bomb tower, gets the enemy queen, gets the hound out of the CC. 1 giant bomb. So from there, it's just point defence. Really, and Hogs don't mind point defence. 1 outside giant bomb to stop the witch slaps, of course. Outside skeleton trap. So set up to be a definite anti-witch slap style base. But taken care of quite simply there from Co. Very lucky to get those wall breakers in. Well done, mate. Fresh hit. There was a fresh hit from our Town Hall 10s here. Skywalker managed a dragon attack on their number 2. It was only a 52%. And I think the other Town Hall 10 versus 11 was only a 54%. But when you're only using 4 attacks to get both out, 50% is a pretty good return. Unfortunately, just low percentage. Good bases from the Dutch. What have we got here? So this is Venom's attack. He's going in with a Queen Walk, and it's a Go Witch for the second phase. I like the second base I watched on this. So the only 6-pack of the war for Down Under was Venom, and they were both fresh hits. So it's definitely an army worth style. I do love Queen Walks on the right base. You can see you've got clustered up air defences. So a lot of the time people see those and think, oh yeah, I'll just slap a 3 lightning plus 1 earthquake on those, rip out those air defence and go in with some kind of air styled attack. But Venom has gone in with a Queen Walk. looking solid. It's going to net a couple of wizard towers, a couple of archer towers. I'm pretty sure he wants to go around right. That's the way the queen's going to walk anyway. Sends in the golem, sends in the witches behind. One of those builder hut giants comes out and says, how you going? So the healers have joined into the queen, the walk. Very good to see that situational jump there. Everything could walk from where he wanted, but he managed to get the queen to join the king and the witches in the midfield there. Two other witches hitting down the bottom with the golem. So did really well there. I didn't see what was in the CC outside of that loon at the end. That's going to leave one rage for the core. You'd imagine he uses that. No, holds onto the rage. There's not really much left out of this base, so has done really, really well. Still 7 hogs in the bag for a tail. Here we go, out comes the rage. Plenty left. Triggered a lot of the traps on the outside with the witches and the golem walking around. So well done there, Venom. What have we got next? Let's look at Benno. Benno's gone in with a cold-blooded go hog, aka Stinkfinger possibly. Now you see a wizard put there for the herd. What I liked about this, you see a baby dragon witch Valk in the CC, busts out both poisons to get that double effect. Doesn't stuff about, doesn't let the queen do much before he gets him down. And you can see a baby dragon thrown down. So no real wizards, there was a couple, I think, but just goes into it and then has 39 hogs, probably a hog high for the war. Level 16 Jimmy, level 18 Queen, so definitely not huge heroes. Yes, goes in with the stink. Has 4 full heals, a couple of wizards and a few archers for cleanup. Of course, this is a fresh hit, so we don't know where these, giant bombs are. Should likely use a second heal coming out of that bomb tower, and he does. Now you can see the queen going around with that baby dragon. Baby's going to lose out to those 2 air defences, but the way those heroes path was really, really good for the base layout because there was no point defences on that side, meaning you keep them for clean-up. The other wizards are out nice and early, and that's good raiding, to be able to get your hogs down and your wizards at the same time in the end of where the hogs have started. That will get you a lot of bases where you've only got, you see here, 3 hogs left. Enemy king comes in, gives them a bit of a slap and tickle, and there's a bloody builder's hut giant saying how you going as well. So getting those wizards down has probably saved this war for him. For Benno, does have the queen ability at the end to be able to get rid of that enemy king, but cleanup isn't an issue. So you can see the bottom troll, elixir collector. Let's just double check the time on that. 2 minutes 45, is it? Yeah, so I had 15 seconds left, but when you're getting the wizards down, you know when you start the hogs, they go from one area, they finish at the other area, and then they start killing buildings. So it is good to get those wizards down at the start of where your hogs are. So well done there, Benno. Now let's have a look at Venom. What I liked about this was the way he's done his pathing, and I'm going to pause it part way through the raid. You can see a couple of wizards used for a bit of herding there. Probably could have used minions. Doesn't need the time, so would have halved the costing there. Maybe, maybe didn't want to stress about the scroll bar effect. We know that effect gets us all at times. Something Supercell really do need to fix. I do like the herding at the start there. 5 witches, a golem. Now what I like about this, we'll just pause it here, is the intention of the raid is to have the queen walk and then walk around down here. Now that's different because you see these air defences are set up with the 2s, bit of a common meta at the moment for Town Hall 9s, but that means that this air defence here is going to be pinging the healers as they run past. So what I liked about the raid was He must have known that was going to happen, but being at the end of the raid, it just didn't matter. It didn't matter. The Queen didn't need the healers at that phase. There was only one cannon at the end, one mortar on the other side, and possibly an archer tower that didn't get through. So he's done well. Hound in the clan castle, jumps in that golem section with the bowlers, with the witches. A couple of witches do walk around the side, so that's actually good value for him. Witches will get stuck on hounds, of course, having the ranged shooting, but they end up dealing with it. The skellies move on and tank, and you can see now this hound is going to start picking up the Queen's healers, where he does have those handful of hogs like the last raid. But in the end, it doesn't matter. All four of the healers could have died and it wouldn't have mattered. The raid was well and truly over, so it's a good old thank you mother for the rabbit. So fresh 6-hit war for Venom. All round, a good war. To lose by 1 star and a little bit of percentage to a side that did get a fresh hit. Triple, 10 versus 10. Their 9s did really, really well. Sort of put down under a little bit behind, but that's it. It's all part of it. So let's go and have a look at the last war. Okay, final one for the week. Aussie Woot Woot versus Sigilo HBAC. I think I did these guys a couple of weeks ago when they fought Goons. It looks like there's a 2-week difference between Woot Woot to Goons to Woot Woot. But from memory, a lot of these bases, they looked new and fresh to me. So that either they've got a good base building group or they go through them a lot. Really, really impressive to see some of the Town Hall 9 bases. A lot of thought put into the current metas, current army types, and it definitely showed Aussie Woot Woot struggling big time at Town Hall 9. You can see 5 hit downs out of the 6 Town Hall 10s. So that means when you only get one 10v10 attack, you want to make it count, and old Wandick did not make it count, but came away with the big win to Woot Woot due to their Town Hall 9 hit-ups and opens. You see 5 defends there to Rico, 5 defends to Wong. They both took hit downs, I think. So really, all in all, there was 3 opens from both sides. I must say, I definitely have to do a big how you going to Stag. He hit the 80% on number 2, which absolutely opened the door for Woot Woot with their percentages. And yeah, it was only a 0.4% difference, 0.47% difference, and that's what come through. 3 hit downs for Sig, and then so they had 3 10v10s all on open bases. They also had 3 opens as well. And you can see some of their 9s struggled. 6-pack to Whisper Wind, a fresh 6. I think they did do quite a few slaps. And defence-wise, you see no big numbers on theirs. 3, 3, 2, 3, 4 on number 5. Really, there was just a lot with that 3. And when you've only got 12 Town Hall 9s in a war, you don't have a whole lot of room. So looked like a bit of a team effort for them. Did need the 3 dips, but then had the 3 opens. So it was all sort of even war for them. All in all, pretty amazing finish. There was an attack in the last minute from both teams. And it came down to a low percentage by one of their 10s, and really it was just the Town Hall 9s. So in the end, the Town Hall 10s mainly looking at doing hit downs, and yeah, it's just one of those things. It seems to be so different looking at MLCW at 3 different wars each week. Also looking at CWL and where we are in that with Aussie Addicts, where I am, I should say. It's funny seeing the Town Hall 9 grind. There's still plenty of life in it. The base building is pretty out there. We're seeing a lot of these bases here at the moment with the air defences that were close together taking the 3+1. So you see here Fly, this is 88 on her mini account, 25, 27 on the heroes. It's just to help match versus those lower hero clans. Otherwise she'll throw in her 30-30 of course. And you see she's gone in with a dragon combo. It starts with the 3+1 lightning. That leaves a haste and also a rage for the dragons. You can see the dragons put straight onto the Town Hall and the Queen. Using a rage fairly quickly she will be. Doesn't get the last Tesla down, but really, really good value out of those heroes for the push. Nothing hardcore. Doesn't manage to get that top archer tower down up top there with those 2 loons. Generally it was because that blower was out of there, but having that extra haste to help get that hound into that blower and remove that, then get the heat seeker and the remaining expo on the bottom there. Really helped. Only thing she missed was that corner Tesla hut. So more Discord planning people, more people spotting, but awesome raid, fresh hit, 1 of 4 for Woot Woot and Siglio. They had, I think, half a dozen. They did have 6. So as much trolling as possible put onto that base, but still 2.5 dragons left at the end there. So well done, 88. Where are we going next? Number 9, I think I'm going to look at. Number 9 is one of Stag's raids. He had the 80% hit up. That was on the max base for him as well, hitting 80% max base, so it was really good. And you see here just the basic slap where he's going to go witches and 2 healers on 1. And then I think he puts 2 healers down the bottom as well. The golems for the midfield group. Where are we? As always, many things on the go. War's just finished. It's Tuesday morning, so it was a little bit of a later war for these guys. Not too sure why, but either way it was. So it was the last one for the week for the ACA. You see the golem jump, Jimmy Bob Queen, bowlers going in there, and he will do a rage, I would expect. So Hound in the clan castle. What was really impressive with these guys was they used very few Hound clan castles and a lot more of the baby dragon witch variations, and to me that proves that they're going for more defends, because to me having a Hound is more of a defend the first raid kind of a CC, and it defends raids, but then usually re-hitting it, you can do spam hogs, you can do spam valks, you can do spam air. There's a multitude of much easier combos that you can then go in with. But if you've got the baby dragon witch valk, any of those kinds of combos, you can bet your bottom dollar that it's still going to be a hard second hit. It's still going to be there. It's still going to be harder to get into. And you can see Stag going through there with the slap. Just enough left. I love the use of that queen there at the end. She was sort of stuck on walls, and you can see she got through to get in there and get those last defences. He did hold 4 wizards till the end, spotted those 2 troll Teslas up the top there. So these guys really had a lot of trolling sort of effects. Giant bombs to protect the witch slaps and hogs. It was a really impressive. I can't say it enough. Some of their bases would hold up well in CWL, I would imagine. You see here Zach going in with a shattered Golar Loon, maybe with bowlers in the clan cast. We'll wait and see. Look at the giant coming out of the builder's hut. That'll be done before next weekend. Don't know if they're putting in more effects for the anniversary, but it was different, you know. Like, it was funny to see it over the organised wars and the effects that it did have on 1 or 2 raids I saw failed because a giant sort of caused an upset in one spot where it wasn't intended. You see an early poison there going in. Kill squad going inside. Bowlers, yes, in the clan castle. Early ground skeleton. Good old baby CC. So 2 valks, 1 wizard. I liked that hero entry, especially if it was for a hogtail, because you'd be able to get rid of that bomb tower as well. And you see that the kill squad making very light work of that open. So definitely a good approach. Old Jimmy Bob going through the middle there. Whoa, hello, 2 giant bombs. Pops, no, he's already popped him. So he gets into his air phase. 2 Tesla expos on the one side. Now the Hound will tank those quite sufficiently. He had 3 haste, 1 heal for the air phase. Just gets through on those expos. You've got to keep in mind the hit point variations with those. Sometimes you do need to go 4 loons instead of 3 to make sure those expos do get down. They can be quite painful. You see now the Hounds just falling off at the end there, but half a dozen loons left. Queen still didn't use her ability. So really good assessment there, Zach. I think he hit a 97 on his other fresh hit. So it was unfortunate to get away with just the 1-3 for that war. So overall, very good war to be a part of. Fun right down to the end. Any war that comes down to the last 2 attacks, 1 on each side, is a fun war. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the week, and clash on. Will you do the